the undrafted shooting guard from South Carolina. His path to the NBA has been quite the journey and was once a player that lots of fans were really high on. PJ Dozier, a 6'6" guard with a 7-foot wingspan, with a terrible history of injuries but is well known for being a big combo guard that relies heavily on perimeter defense, has been in and out of NBA teams, G League teams, and teams outside of the US. Interesting fact, PJ had an uncle, Terry Dozier, who only played 9 games for the Charlotte Hornets back in the 1989-1990 season. Terry only averaged 2.4 points, 1.7 rebounds, and 0.7 steals across 9 games. For PJ's career, he's played in 121 NBA games and averaged 5.7 points, 2.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 0.5 steals on 40, 31, 67 splits on about 16.3 minutes per game. This season, he's only averaged 1.4 points, 0.9 rebounds, and 0.4 steals on about 4.9 minutes a game. Dozier was projected to be in the middle of the second round for the 2017 NBA draft, but fell right outside and went undrafted. However, while trying to find his place in the league, PJ ultimately ended up on the OKC Thunder as a two-way player. He finally had a secure spot in 2019 when the Nuggets signed him to a whole year for $183,000, which was 2 years after he went undrafted. Before high school, Perry PJ Dozier was born in Columbia, South Carolina on October 25th, 1996, and not much is known about his personal life before high school. However, he has had 2 family members prior to him that played in the NBA. Terry Dozier, like I mentioned earlier, PJ Dozier's uncle, who played in 9 games with the Charlotte Hornets, and Reggie Lewis, PJ's second cousin, who was a former Celtics player who died in a result of a heart failure. Reggie played for the Celtics for 6 years, the 1987 to 1993 season, and was an all-star in the 1992 NBA season with averages of 20.8 points, 4.8 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks on 50, 24, 85 splits on about 37.4 minutes per game. As Bleacher Reports puts it, before PJ was studying multiplication tables, he was studying tape. Perry would coach PJ in rec leagues, and Terry would train PJ until high school. They helped develop his fundamental skills, ball handling, and footwork. PJ played for Spring Valley High School in Columbia, South Carolina, where he was a consensus 5-star recruit for the shooting guard position. He also even played in the 2015 McDonald's All-American Boys Game roster and scored 14 points and showcased his defensive versatility. He was also named the 2014-2015 Gatorade Player of the Year for South Carolina. The crazy part is that he did this all only on one ACL. Apparently, according to PJ's father Perry, PJ's had a torn ACL since 2007 when he was 12 years old. We haven't said anything about it, and he's been playing on it since then. PJ had to miss the 2013 to 2014 basketball season after having ACL surgery, but recovered in time for the McDonald's All-American game. He was still playing and defending at a high level, even without an ACL. PJ was rated the number 19th prospect in ESPN 100 and the number 4 point guard. PJ committed to the University of South Carolina over offers like Michigan, North Carolina, Georgetown, and Louisville. His father also played in South Carolina, and PJ didn't want to stray from home and felt comfortable with his transition to college. PJ played for the University of South Carolina for 2 years, where he accomplished SEC First Year Academic Honor Roll in his freshman year and December 5th SEC Player of the Week, 2017 East Regional All-Tournament Team, and SEC Winter Academic Honor Roll. His first year was, lack of better words, pretty bad, especially with 2.6 turnovers and only 19 minutes a game, sticking out along with 6.7 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 38, 21, 54 splits. However, defensively, he showed potential, logging in 1 steal and 0.4 blocks a game. PJ was able to turn it around his second year, bumping his scoring to 13.9 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 2.8 assists on 28.7 minutes per game, and slightly increasing his splits to 41, 30, 60. His steals also increased to 1.7 with 0.3 blocks. However, his turnovers were still pretty atrocious, with 2.2 turnovers, lowering from the previous 2.6 turnovers on 19 minutes a game. PJ and Sindarius Thornwell were important pieces of PJ's sophomore South Carolina run to the Final Four, where PJ scored 17 points. However, South Carolina lost to Gonzaga 77-73. After his 2 seasons with the University of South Carolina, he declared for the 2017 NBA draft. PJ was projected to be a late second round to the undrafted player and was compared to a Sean Livingston type of player. During the 2017 NBA draft class, PJ heard prospects like Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, and Donovan Mitchell get called to the stage. After hearing everyone's name get called and the last team, Atlanta, called their 60th pick, Alpha Kaba, PJ just went undrafted. Luckily, PJ had a chance and signed with the LA Lakers for the 2017 Summer League to see how he would look like compared to other players that were trying to make a name for themselves. However, However, PJ was only able to play in 2 summer league games with only 5 minutes a game, barely even had stats, had more rebounds than points. After going undrafted and only playing in 2 games in the summer league, PJ had a hard time trying to land on the team for long term. He was first signed by the Dallas Mavericks on August 2017 and was released barely 2 months after. Shortly, he signed a 2-way contract with the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he would split time as a Thunder and OKC Blue. However, PJ didn't officially make his NBA debut until February 8th, 2018 against the Lakers, the team that originally put him on their summer league roster, where he only played 2 minutes but put up 2 points and a rebound. His only field goal was a nice finger layup. That game and one other game were the only games he was able to play in his rookie season. PJ wouldn't really make a name until his junior year, where after playing on the Celtics, he was waived and picked up by the Denver Nuggets in the 2019-2020 season. He would often split time with NBA and G League to improve his skills, and scouts can see whether or not he was NBA ready. Eventually, Nuggets would sign PJ Dozier to a 2-year deal for $2.8 million in total. PJ played 29 total games for the Nuggets this year and would post great games here and there, but really started to pick up speed in the 2020 NBA COVID bubble in Orlando, Florida, having a 20-point game against the Toronto Raptors on August 14th, 2020, along with 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals, and shot 5 for 6 from 3. He averaged about 22 minutes a game during that month, averaged 10.3 points, 3.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 0.9 steals a game, showing teams who they passed up on in the 2017 NBA draft. The 2020 NBA bubble playoffs went wild for the Nuggets. The Nuggets were the first team in NBA history to come back from a 3-1 deficit twice in a row against the first-round Jazz and second-round Clippers. PJ was a crucial piece of their defense and helped stay in front of the best players in each series. However, the Nuggets would eventually lose to the Lakers 4-1. I had a small feeling that they would come back from 3-1 again, but to no avail. PJ only played in 12 out of 22 of those playoff games on about 10 minutes a game, averaged 20 minutes against the Jazz, had averages of 3.2 points, 1.5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Although nothing really jumped out on the box stats, if you watch his performance and defense, you can clearly see that he was a big contributor for the Nuggets' 2020 Western Conference Finals run. PJ played 50 games in the next season with the Nuggets on about 22 minutes a game and averages of 7.7 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 1.8 assists, with 0.6 steals and 0.4 blocks on 42-32, 64 splits, showcasing his defensive-minded plays and even creating a little offense off the bench for some periods of time. This would be his best season to date. PJ tore his ACL again on November 24th, 2021, then was traded to the Celtics on January 19, 2022, along with Bol for Juancho Hernan-Gomez. Ever since then, his production and performance wasn't as stellar as we all would have hoped for. Not even a month after he was traded to the Celtics on February 10th, 2022, the Celtics traded him, Bol, and a 2023 second-round pick, top 55 protected, to the Magic for a 2028 second-round pick, top 45 protected, and cash considerations. Immediately right after this trade, the same exact day, the Magic waived PJ and he was sent to free agency. From the start of the 2022-2023 season, September 25th, 2022, the Timberwolves took a chance on him and signed him to a minimum salary deal, but was waived again not even a month after, on October 15th, 2022. On January 9th, 2023, PJ signed 2 10-day contracts and played for the Kings and G League. The Kings really liked what they saw from PJ, and on February 25th, 2023, the Kings signed PJ to a 2-year deal worth $3 million. PJ was able to play in 16 games in the regular season and 3 playoff games, but only averaged about 5 minutes per game, not truly showcasing what he was able to offer in 15 plus minutes a game. In the 2022-2023 regular season, his per 36 averages looked like 10 points, 6.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and 2.7 steals, 1.5 blocks per game, showing his knack on the defensive side. PJ was also waived on July 8th, 2023. I love me some defensive-minded players, especially players that went undrafted or drafted in the late second round. I always love a come-up story, just showcasing whatever they got. Although PJ doesn't have much of a scoring prowess, his defense really stands out. With enough experience and playtime, PJ will be able to refine his offensive game and truly become backup point guard on any team and can impact winning plays. His tenure on the Nuggets really excelled his performance and impact on any team, and I wish him the best of luck on his quest to become an NBA champion or even just trying to get the bag for his family. His ACL tear really set him back. However, I still believe that PJ will continue to trek on through and make himself heard, where the name PJ Dozier isn't just for NBA nerds who know too much about the NBA like myself.